Yeshua. I am yours. I welcome you here. Amen. Now, my friend, we begin again, as ever and as always, as each moment renews in the potential for creation, which is who you are, to express again, in whatever form, in whatever guise, in whatever costume you so choose. It is with gratitude that we join with you again. And Sarita, if you would be so kind as to read the question for the group, we will begin.
Dear Jeshua, there is a recurring fear that I am struggling with. I've been renewing my commitment over and over again to the way of the heart in the last 2 years. Yet sometimes I am unsure whether I am on the right path. I believe and accept the fact that nothing is outside of me. Therefore, I came to the conclusion that my husband's doubts and regular allegations about the fakeness of the channeling process must be mine. I did not feel this fear was mine for a long time. Fear that I am on the wrong path. Fear that there is a Satan who deceives me and I willingly walk his way whilst thinking I am choosing love.
So I'm sorry, Sarita. I'm sorry. I've lost my channel. I couldn't hear the question. Can everyone else hear Sarita? Yeah, okay. All right. I'm really sorry, everyone. I completely lost the connection again, and I won't continue until it's really clear in me. So I'm gonna if you bear with me, gonna try again and see how I get on. But the
Would
for
you
me
like me
the
to come in
audio's
the room with you?
I can't hear you, Sarita. Sorry.
Would you like me to come in the room with you?
That could be help. Well, no, because it's going to mess up. Yeah, you. Yes, do that. Yeah,
Okay.
but you'll need to read with your microphone off. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Do that. Okay. All right. Hmm. Okay. So if you could turn your speaker off, Sarita, otherwise we're going to have.
I'm muted. Shall I just leave? No, I can't leave.
If you turn your sound right down. All right. That right down.
Yes, I'm afraid.
Oh God.
No good, is it?
That's not working.
No, it's not. Okay.
That's not working. All right. No, I can't deal with that.
Headphones?
Yeah, hang on. Have you got a socket? Have you got a headphone socket in that? We'll get there in a minute. Just plug that in.
I say something?
Yeah, it shouldn't make any sound at all.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Are we
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, I think well, we're halfway there. We're halfway there. Let's see if we can get the rest of the way there. Now, when you speak, can everyone hear you? Can everyone hear Sarita?
I'm speaking like this. Can you hear me?
Yeah?
If I could come closer.
Great. All right, we're good. We're good. Right, well, third time's a charm, as they say. My brother Jeshua, I invite you into my heart, body, and mind. Now let us begin again, once more, my friend.
Dear Jeshua, there is a recurring fear that I am struggling with. I've been renewing my commitment over and over again to the way of the heart in the last 2 years, yet sometimes I'm unsure whether I'm on the right path. I believe and accept the fact that nothing is outside of me. Therefore, I came to the conclusion that my husband's doubts and regular allegations about the fakeness of the channeling process must be mine. I did not feel this fear was mine for a long time. Fear that I'm on the wrong path. Fear that there is a Satan who deceives me and I willingly walk his way whilst thinking I am choosing love. That the demons I do not want to believe in are real. It gives me great comfort to believe I cannot be a victim of the world, yet the doubts keep coming back. How can I gain certainty and make this fear go once and for all?
Indeed, beloved friend, and thank you for this question. Indeed, these questions that you raise. For I assure you that you stand not alone in the dream, harboring such thoughts, such beliefs, such experiences. For indeed, it is one of the most obvious yet remarkable things about the dream that you have conjured it to appear so very, very real. For you are, in truth, as I have said, the essence of reality itself. You are the creative force. You are reality. And so, as you have suffused your own reality with the thoughts of the dream, they have appeared within you and before you as if they were a primary and very real truth. Hmm. There are in mind constructs of belief, ideas essentially that have taken on, we might say, a life of their own. And as we perceive these things that appear to have a life of their own, they may seem very much to be happening beyond the control or the volition of self. And yet they are not, and do not, and could never. It is wise indeed, my sister, that you look upon the reflection that your husband offers and adopt the knowing that this must be arising from within the field of yourself, for it is, and it points to a deep place in mind. It points to a deep place in mind that holds value in doubt. Hmm? And the question I would ask is the question that I have raised already today, and that is, how exactly does this doubt serve you? For without the knowing of this and the knowing of what lies beneath it, you cannot simply cast aside that which, in essence, a part of your mind holds in great value and appreciation. For as soon as you throw it away, another hand will reach and grasp it and welcome it back, and you will be stuck within this merry-go-round of mind in which you cast aside and turn your head and see not that it has been reclaimed by that one who values this doubt so much. This is a commonality in the dream we see so much. It is the attempt to transform the depths by administering only to the surface. Which is why we give this simple question of how this serves you. What does it offer unto you? Speak with it, speak to it. Become as a friend unto the devils of your own mind. For in truth, there is no reality beyond mind. And all the devils and all the demons that have been described are the effect of aspects of mind that have been so violently disowned that they would appear to be beyond the self. and they are not. So fear not of being deceived by anyone or anything other than yourself. For there is only one deceiver in the sphere of your experience, and you need only look within the mirror in the depth of your eye to know that a deception has taken place and takes place in this moment. And every time you choose to believe in doubt, you are deceived. And yet there is within you this quality of light in soul that is choosing now to step from the field of self-deception, which is the only deception available in creation, towards the truth of yourself. Answer me this, if you will. Is there doubt in God, in the reality of your own beingness? Is there doubt? Or does doubt only exist within the field of the dream? And if your doubt is here to keep you safe, which is a possibility, what is it keeping you safe from? And if you recognize that there is nothing outside of you, what is it in truth that you have to fear but your own mind, your own false perception, and the identification that has occurred? For I tell you this, when you know who you are, there is no fear. There cannot be fear in who you are, for you are love, and love knows not fear, yet dispels all fear before it. How does your doubt serve you? Answer me that, and I will take you to the reality of your own being. We will receive another question.
Hello, and thank you for that rich blessing. When Jeshua speaks, or when I am in meditation with a group, I often fall into a deep sleep. I wake up when the channeling or meditation is finishing. This happened again today. I was looking forward to receiving this message for weeks. My body was awakened at the perfect time to participate today, no alarm needed. I had breakfast and came prepared to hear. Perhaps this is what is needed at the moment, and I am open to the possibility that I may be receiving on a deeper level of awareness and will benefit from listening again from alpha wave state. However, I wonder if this reflects a subtle unwillingness on my part that is calling to be addressed. Your insights are invited.
Thank you beloved sister. I hope that you can stay awake for the answer that I am to offer. And yet, if you do not, nothing in truth is lost. For in reality, awareness is, awake or asleep. There is always receptivity to energy and words. So with that in mind, even as you slumber, even as you sleep deeply through the transmissions of words and breath and energy that this channel is, you are receiving. So rest assured, you are not wholly missing out. However, it is wise of you indeed to question if there may be an unwillingness. And that is not necessarily the phrase that we would use. Yet it is very wise to ask the question. And once again, for fear of repeating myself, I would invite you to ask the simple question as to how it serves you at this time to fall asleep. For there is indeed a part within your mind that is pulling the veil up and blanketing the self away from the frequencies of love that are being proffered. There is a deception deep in mind and a fear that is present. And I would direct you towards that, my friend. For even as you receive from this in the state of sleep, there is much that is occurring that is grounded in fear. So the invitation is clear to gently and kindly inquire into the mind in which this part resides. A part, I might add, that has an abundance of bedding with it. Many different qualities of duvet and blanket and pillows, I see. It's a beautiful image, one dedicated absolutely to comfort and sleep. And ask how does this one serve you? How does its commitment to sleep serve you? What does it truly hope for? There is a journey of listening to unfold. There is a journey of deep listening to unfold with that one. To learn with attentiveness and attention to what it would share with you. For it is a symbol within a symbol of a symbol. A code, one might say, that requires teasing out into the open, that it might be revealed, for it will unlock much for you. To see, to feel, to allow and accept, to heal, to bring love to hold, to nurture and cherish. And to welcome back. To welcome back the essence of yourself from it, so that you can remember that you are not the one who is committed to sleep anymore. We will take another question.
Dear Yeshua, your words have spoken greatly to my heart, and it described perfectly where I am in the journey of awakening. I'm seeing the belief that the choice for separation is wrong, and therefore I am wrong, has been underlying all the experiences in this life. Although I have projected as God abandoned me, and I'm starting to see that actually I was the one abandoning him because of the mistaken identity with the wrongness. As a result, I have never felt a true sense of safety and have sought with great effort all kinds of ways to get safety from the world. They all fail, which in your words is a good thing. Can you speak a bit more about this and how I can cultivate the willingness to stay committed to discover fully how to feel truly safe? Thank you.
Thank you, my beloved friend and sister, for this question. How indeed to feel safe. Let us turn this about and place it upon its head and ask a question in return. How is it that you have generated a sense of threat against you? What is it within creation that you fear? There are indeed a million things that could come to mind from the world that can invoke a sense of fear and threat, is there not? And yet these things are of the world. They are not a reality. There are two primary energies that create a sense of threat. Firstly is the identification with the body. Secondly is self-judgment. Indeed, those two energies are related, though I will not go into the depth of that, for it is a whole hour of conversation. What I would say unto you is, if you would truly know safety, then bring forgiveness into the deepest places of your mind. For you have hit upon it within your question, that it is you who have rejected God. It is you who have believed that because you have suffused the energy of your soul with a false idea, therefore fundamentally in the essence of your being, you are wrong. And in that wrongness, in that judgment that is foundational to the personality structures of all of the worlds that play out, in that wrongness is the expectation and indeed the requirement for correction. For what is wrong must be corrected, and if you are wrong, you must be corrected, and correction comes in the form, or when accompanied by judgment, of punishment. Does it not? So this is the mechanism by which you have created a lack of safety for yourself. For you look upon the world in the expectation of punishment because you believe you are wrong, because you have judged yourself fundamentally. And this goes not only for you, this is a commonality throughout the entire dream. Beloved friend, forgive yourself. You have done nothing wrong. You have dreamed a dream. You have imagined wrongness. You have adopted it as if it were your child. You have raised it with you. You have made it a part of what you believe yourself to be wrongness. Wrongness, beloved friend, sits at the very core of the dream, and it demands punishment. And fear is birthed from that guilt. As I have said before, guilt is the mother of fear, and this is how it comes to be and plays itself out, spiraling through the trillions of worlds upon your planet. This is the birth of victimhood. This is the birth of perpetration. This is the birth of the need to be right. This is the birth of it all. My friend, if you would know safety, forgive yourself. I will say this. For what need is there for punishment when one knows oneself in innocence? We will take one more question for now.
Dear Yeshua ben Joseph, dear Maria of Magdala, dear Miriam, I have felt some time ago to embrace my shadow and fear. So I opened up to fear and shadow. I invited it, felt love to the unknown darkness, This is a process that took me last month or two. Now my level of fear is so small and my joy is greater. I had never felt this serenity before. Is it a coping mechanism like denial of shadow, why shadow has gone? Love and gratitude.
Beloved friend. Hmm. Hmm. It is interesting, is it not, that there is suspicion that arises in mind in the face of something good. There is a reality to the dissolution of shadow through the embrace of love. There has come to be a degree of detachment from the identification that has allowed love to flow, that has allowed love to bring healing into the mind. I celebrate with you increase of joy and the diminishment of fear in your system. And yet look well unto the doubt that arises, for it opens up a new seam of mind that would call for love, a seam that runs deep, that would lead to greater joy. So once again, I would repeat myself to bring unto mind the simple question: how does this energy serve me? I am having a little word with Israel, as a part within him is stirring. And it is a fine art indeed to hold clarity of channel between two minds, one set within the dream and one wholly established in reality. There are often flickers of the dream, aspects of mind that would establish or attempt to establish some authority again in the mind that is being used, and very understandably from their perspective. Hmm. We will receive one more question. there is one to receive.
They sent an email question in. Dear Yeshua, what is the purpose of sleeping every night? And is there any benefit in lucid dreaming and remembering our dreams? Thank you, with much love.
Indeed, my friend, thank you for this question. Is there a requirement for sleep? Is sleep necessary? Whilst the body lasts, and indeed whilst there remains identification with it, there is requirement for sleep. For there are many physiological functions of the body that require this time of deep rest without the interference of mind resisting the flow of life. The mind in separation, when suffused with the identity of self, is by its very nature resistant to the flow of life. And in identification with the body, this shows up. There are indeed many, many, many beings who experience through the body the resistance to life. Contraction, blockage of energy, withdrawal, and the list goes on and on. In the sleep state, when the mind is quieted, life can flow and restoration of the body occurs. This is what sleep is for. It is a restoration period for the body in which the body can unimpeded receive the flow of love and life, which restores functionality. When the mind has become so enlightened and awakened that it can simply allow the flow of energy that life is to move uninterrupted through it, then the body will require less and less sleep, for there is less to restore, for life is. Indeed, when the mind becomes so transparent to the flow of love that life is, that is the essence of self, that is the truth of self, when that flows fully unimpeded, then the body may very well and is capable of dissolving in light itself. And yet the decision will be held by the self that is inhabiting, not identifying with, but inhabiting that form. Dreams come as a form of assistance in that restoration process. Dreams come primarily, and there are different forms of dreaming, but we will speak today primarily of the form of dreaming that assists the body in restoration. It is the processing of mental, emotional energy through the unconscious, releasing from the body that is in a deeply relaxed state, receiving the flow of life. The mind responding to this in assistance by the allowance of movement of energy through itself that is interpreted as visual experiences, aural experiences, sensational experiences for some. These dreams, this can give insight into the nature of the unconscious mind as to what is occurring what is being held onto, what is being identified with, which is being believed in. So in this sense, dreams can be a rich field in which we can discover what lies beneath the surface of mind. And if utilized correctly, can give insight that can lead to healing. The embrace of that which was once founded in fear in the reality of love. So to summarize, the body requires sleep until the mind is perfectly awake. And then the body may sleep if desired or not, may be present as a form or not, may dissolve in light or not. But that degree of awakening is very rare on this planet at this time, though it will become more and more common over the next 20, 30, 40, and 50 years. And dreams are a part of the restoration process and can offer insight. And insight can enable healing if intended in that way. And so, my beloved friends, it brings great joy to us to have the opportunity to join with you in this way, to share in breath and life and truth, to receive you as you receive us, to join in the one heart. We bow to the truth of who you are, the glory of God, in reverence, humility, and grace, and give thanks for you and the journey that you are upon. For now, we say goodbye, and we would very much like to join with you again next month. Amen. Mm. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Thanks, June. I really appreciate hearing that. Um, it is a process, and for me very much it's like I have a world of little parts in my mind, and the channel, it necessarily means that they're not involved. That they're not, and it was interesting to feel Yeshua kind of going like, yeah, there's a little part that's wanting to take control, and it's just like we just got to be with that for a minute, because it's there, right? Interesting process in terms of navigating mind and the space and keeping that clear, and then also interrupting it when I know it's not, when I know that it's not, and there can be a part that's kind of like, oh, can have parts that are like, oh, right, I could have a say, couldn't I? Or another part that's like, right, that's it, we're out of here. Let's just cut this all off, throw in the towel. So yeah, it's an interesting process, channeling. It really is. And it's a great way of getting to know your mind. Interestingly, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
June, appreciate you. It's really interesting, isn't it? How just these one words can resonate in some way. And for me, it's always a feeling, right? It's like a word can come and it can be just, but like there's something that like it hits home in some way. It's like there's a resonance in my mind. It hits me in some way. It just goes, whoa, like there it is. Um, and I mean, it's really interesting because I'm always wanting, from my parts and my fear, I'm always wanting some kind of evidence or proof, and he will not give it, and he's very adamant. He said, I want your faith. He says, I want your faith. I want you to know faith, and it's a very interesting place to be with it. I get signs, obviously I get things in here, but he's like, it's the feeling, like learning to trust the feeling. Over and above the words or the evidence that the eyes give, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's what he says to me is like, the only evidence that holds any value is the resonance of your heart.
Mm.
Like that, because that's where the reality is. That's where I know reality, and I can't know reality in the world. So it doesn't matter. Anything that's shown is going to be a symbol. It is going to be a symbol of a symbol. And he says it doesn't matter if it comes again and again and again, I will always have the power to deny it.
Absolutely.
I'll always have the power to deny it. It doesn't matter how he shows up. I will always have the power to deny it. And so it comes back to the simplicity of a decision. It's the simplicity of a decision. Do I choose to know Yeshua in the reality of myself? Or do I choose to deny him? And I have the power to do both. But one comes with this feeling, like when I say those words, it's like when I say that I choose to know Yeshua in my heart, it's like I feel it, that there's something happening. And this is what he continually points towards for me. He says, this is discernment. Discernment is not about the mind making some kind of rational decision about right and wrong, or this and this. It's about coming into the quality of feeling, because he says that's where God is known, right? And that's what he loves to convey through the channel. That's why he loves to join a group and to bring the whole group into channel. right? So that it's not just a transmission, it's something coming through the whole group, you know. And I don't know if that's been everyone's experience. I don't know if that's your experience of this channel, but that's absolutely what he intends, you know, that we open up the field. We open up the field for a group channel. The words come through here, but they could come through anywhere, and it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. What's of the greatest relevance, and he said this time and again, he says, all the words have been said. He said, I've said all the words I need to say. I've said all the words I need to say. I've given the Course in Miracles, Course in Love, Way of Mastering. How many more words do you need? Like, and he's like, well, the words are just there to try to get the mind out of the way so that you can actually feel me. You know, and that's really what this channel is about. It's not about information in terms of words. It's about information in terms of energy. It's about feeling Jeshua as an aspect of your own beingness, because that's what he is, right? He is. We are one, right? We are one. All of us, everything and everyone. Like the suffusion of self is reality. Not the mistaken beliefs and perceptions, but the love.